You ever look at like old videos of yourself, and when you're watching them, you're like, oh my, this chair is so low in the frame. Look, that's so weird. I mean, this looks. Ugh. When you're filming people, most times you kind of want the camera to be eye level. There. That feels a little bit more. This feels a little bit more realistic. This feels nice. So, have you ever like gone through old footage or videos or read journals or something from the past? You're like, man, what was I thinking? What was I doing? What was wrong with me? I had one of those moments. I was going through like an old hard drive and I found this tutorial that I did that I was like, okay, like it was actually pretty good. I enjoyed the tutorial and I don't know why I never released it. It was something that I just sort of left on a hard drive, never published it, but it was fully edited. And I'm actually pretty happy with it. I mean, there's a couple aspects of it that have totally changed, which is like, you know, I don't know why I lit it the way I did. It looks really ugly on my face and my beard was all scraggly and there's a lot of things that have improved over time, but I do think there's value to the tutorial and the stuff that I talk about. So I thought I would publish it and share it for you guys. And, you know, as a little bit of fun thing to go through it, you can sort of see how these videos have developed and changed over 2 years. I made this in 2019, or made this in 2017, so you can sort of see how the production value has progressed. Oh, and before we begin, I gotta thank the sponsor of this video, which is PremiumBeat.com. PremiumBeat is a royalty-free stock music website for all of your creative needs. If you guys are looking for some music and some tunes for your videos, I highly recommend taking a look at PremiumBeat.com.
How's it going, guys? If you're watching this video, maybe you're like prepping for a shoot, maybe you're about to go on one, maybe you just want to learn a little bit about this before you go into a shoot. But the big thing that I want to talk about is the process into going into a production and the things that you kind of have to keep in mind with doing that. So I'm going to summarize each section of pre-production, production, and post-production really quickly to give you guys a bit of an idea. If you have any questions regarding this, please write in the comment section below and I would love to answer any sort of questions you have regarding this video. So I'm gonna be using a music video that I just did as my example piece. So the first thing that you're gonna do is, for me, I had to go through writing a concept. So we had a song, I wrote the concept, and then I pitched to the band. Now, after a couple concepts, they really liked this one. It was like this idea about them standing in front of mirrors are shattering. It was like kind of a cool concept and vibe. Once they approved the story, it was time to taking it to the next level. So kind of writing out all the fine, minute details. So coming up with storyboards, writing down scene by scene breakdowns, and how it was gonna play out per beat of the song. The reason why you wanna do this is it really helps in the pre-production process once the ball starts rolling for all the department heads to know really what's going on. Highly recommend doing storyboards. We'll talk about that more in a future episode, but that's something that can really help your production quite a bit. And I have a link in the description below talking about like storyboards, how to do them, and why they're so beneficial. So pre-production is writing out a concept, getting it approved, finalizing those details. Basically what you want to do with your pre-production is make sure that it's basically like it's idiot proof. Okay, so right now we are planning out, it's actually so just, we can just do right now we're planning the music video. We're doing budget stuff and looking at locations. One of the biggest problems that I've had on most shoots that I've done is that my pre-production wasn't done properly, so the ideas weren't fleshed out enough, and you want to make sure that you have your plan A, B, and C, because chances are plan A is probably going to fall through and you're going to have to go to plan B. It sucks, but that's just the reality of things. And so if you have a really good plan B, maybe plan A isn't like the best and plan B is even better. That's one thing you're gonna notice is plan B sometimes makes you outthink yourself and come up with even more genius and creative ideas because you're just thinking in the moment. So thinking your plan A, B, and C, make sure you have like your scenes fleshed out pretty well, make sure everybody's on the same page. For this, what we had is I had an AD, I had a producer, and a cinematographer,
actor, talent in the chair.
This is day, it feels like day 500 planning this music video. We have our AD over here, our producer over here. It feels like Christmas is coming up. I'm so, I literally have the pre-production butterflies. I'm so excited.
Then the next part of the process was going through, and since we had these big mirrors, what I wanted to do was proof of concept stills. So basically to make sure that our idea was going to work out well, because essentially we were shooting on we're shooting massive, like 6 foot, I think 6 foot or 7 foot ballet mirrors, and we were buying them and smashing them. There was a lot involved. So we actually did like to scale concept photos with like little dinky toys just to make sure that all of our stuff worked out. So when we bought these big mirrors, our effects would work. Basically, once you've fleshed out like all the boring stuff, here comes the fun part, which is location scouts. Oh, I love location scouts. Location scouts is so fun because basically you get to kind of flesh out your idea even further. So we were looking for a warehouse, pretty simple. We checked out like 1 or 2. They didn't fit the needs. They were a little bit too expensive, and some of them were just too far away from where we wanted to shoot. So we ended up finding this really great one, pretty close to home. Location was great, owners were great, fit the vibe of what we wanted to do. And one of the best things is whenever you go location scouting, sometimes it's fun to kind of recreate and reimagine your ideas a little bit. Because once you're in that space, your creative wheels start to turn more. And for me, it's actually one of the most enlightening parts of the whole process because you actually get to see the first tangible part of your vision come to life. Next crucial part when doing a location scout is taking photos because those memories will fade pretty quickly and they'll start to get blurred and stuff. So if you have tangible evidence of what those spots look like, even try framing up some of the shots that you want to do later. Our whole video is in black and white, so we did our location scout photos in black and white so we could see how the lighting and how the walls looked in that setting. Okay, now finally, the part that everybody thinks about and gets so excited about is that's production. Production was really good. We had 2 days in the warehouse. 1 day was kind of prep build, which I highly recommend if you're doing any shoots. Prep, build, get all your stuff ready. If you can get into your location a day early, it's gonna really benefit you and your production because you're gonna be able to set up, basically we were able to set up all of our mirrors, we were able to figure out all our angles beforehand, make sure our lighting was all ready. Okay, so to give you guys a bit of a quick update, here's what we have set up. So Vince has pretty much all the mirrors almost set up back there. We're working on the final frame for the final mirror. And then over here, take a look at this. So it should theoretically work. We've done some camera tests, but we've done almost floating glass. So essentially, what we want is a whole video to be practical. So this is going to be glass particles floating in the foreground, then we have stuff going in the background, and then stuff going in the middle. So with all of those connected, it should all work relatively well. Sorry for all the beeping, they're doing like an installation up there. Not for us though, that would have been super cool. When our cast and majority of our crew came in, we were able to be like, boom, ready to rock and roll. So we built up like these big ballet mirrors this first day. We were able to pick them up, make sure they worked, tried some testing framing out.
Did everything survive?
Hey,
Perfect.
they're all good. Okay, mirrors are in great shape. We're now gonna unload the truck here.
This is what music video looks like.
Yeah, this is a music video in a container. And so day 2 was a bit of a breeze when it came to those technical things because we had everything pretty much set up. And we'll get into kind of the shooting process a little bit more, but basically what you want to do is obviously have all that prep figured out, and then once you get to your shoot, it'll be a lot easier. And then it gets to the post-production process. For any of you editors out there, or even if you're a director kind of helping out with the edit or watching over the shoulder of one, the big thing to keep in mind when doing your editing is make sure you have a good chunk of time planned for post-production. For this, I thought I could probably get it done really quickly. I was a little ambitious with the edit, so I didn't plan too much time ahead. And the editing process actually took a little bit longer. There were some hiccups along the road. So make sure when you do your edit, give yourself a good chunk of time. And we'll get into like time frames and timelines in another episode. But basically for this, I gave myself 2 weeks when I should have given myself 4 weeks because we had some hiccup with like the audio and the frame rate and stuff. So make sure you give yourself some wiggle room because if the client has some feedback, especially if you're working for somebody and this is their first time working for them, their feedback might come in slower, they might have much more feedback, and so having a new line of communication is good to have some wiggle room. And maybe once you've worked with a client or worked with a musician a couple more times, you guys understand each other's workflow, you can gauge kind of the process time a lot better.
Okay guys, so that is it. That was the tutorial that I made years ago, 2 years ago. You've seen a little bit of change and progression, but hopefully that was valuable to you guys. If you like the tunes and music within this video, again, this video is sponsored by PremiumBeat.com. Personally, I use PremiumBeat on a lot of different projects, everything from client work that I'm doing to these sort of vlogs and talk to camera. There's a unique library of music, and it includes stems. So if you guys are wanting a little bit more of a unique sound for this music that you're using, you can literally cherry pick the sounds and maybe the drum track or the guitar track. But that's about it. If you guys like me talking about music videos and you want to learn more about that, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm actually working on a course right now called Pocket Film School, and basically it's like an online film program that my team and I are developing, and it's super dope. I'm so excited to share it with you guys. But within that, I'm actually considering doing a music video course. So please let me know if that's something you're interested in, and if it is, write that in the comment section below, and I'll expand this video into something much larger and a little bit more in depth. That's it, folks. I'll see you guys later. Keep making some great stuff. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye!